battle. Bottom right-hand corner, the red protest that's only one game away from making it into the round of 16. It is Root for Roots, Sage. His opponent, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Belshir Vestige, the blue Zerg, it is Quantix Hyun. Belshir Vestige, we've already seen a ZVP on this map. Sage, if he plays the same comprehensive style, which is getting a single Immortal out, getting a lot of Phoenixes, and then switching over to Robotics Bay before the Nexus, the third Nexus is down, do you think Hyun is a player that will punish that?
Definitely. I think if we see Sage go for a similar style, I think we'll see Hyun go for very quick Vipers and just hit a timing attack with them at maybe 13 minutes, 12 and a half minutes, 14, something like that.
Wow, that's absurd. That's
yeah,
like
it all
really
depends how
fast
quickly
hive.
you get the hive. I've actually seen Hyun take it faster than any other Zerg some games. Like, I've even seen the hive been done by 11 minutes at some points from Hyun, so he likes to get it very quickly.
All right, well, we'll definitely see. I have seen like 9-minute hives before. Scarlet has done that. I've seen Scarlet be like 2-2 against 0-0 with Hive Tech, Adrenal Glands, Zerglings just wrecking through like Colossus armies, which is the most hilarious thing in the world. But we'll see. Time will tell as we have the spawning pool being dropped after a hatchery down. And Sage, we're expecting the same thing from me. He's opened up double gas, something very normal, prioritizing getting out a lot of gas so that he can transition into Stargate incredibly fast here. The other option is to stay on only one assimilator, get the Nexus down, so you're getting your expansion out a little bit faster, but you get your Stargate out a little bit slower. Nothing of too much value, though. I guess this extractor is the only big difference that we see Hyun just prioritizing, maybe doing a potential all-in, but this is normally just for speed. You get your metabolic boost out. It's a good way to just preemptively shut down a lot of pressure, deny a lot of those proxy pylons from popping out on the field, so you make it incredibly hard for reinforcements to pop up there, and from that, you just rely on your Zerglings and your Queens to defend against any ranges of aggression or all-ins, but we'll see. I mean, this is a very standard way of playing it out, a ZVP against a Gateway expand.
And Sage going for the same Stargate style. Again, I think he has the pylon built behind his mineral line. It seems like Sage likes to place his Stargate there. It can be a good choice, though, if you go for Stargate this often, to hide it every game, because then the game you don't go for Stargate, the other player doesn't scout it, so I think it's good.
But the one thing, though, is the fact that it's in the same place every time.
That's true, but it's a place that's hard to scout.
Yeah, that's true as well. But if I have an Overlord starting over here doesn't really make a lot of sense. You want it to swing in. So, yeah, I guess it is the best possible place you can do it.
You at least have to sack an Overlord to get a scout of that Stargate.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And I agree. I like it up back here instead of being up here, because now all of a sudden, as you're saying in the first series, he can do 4 or 5 gate all-ins, and it's so much more effective because a lot of players think it's going to be Stargate because of how often Sage uses Stargate tech. But we'll see. Gas has been stopped for Hyun's extractor over here. He's just getting a lot of Zerglings and getting a third base from here. So is this a little bit too aggressive? I mean, Units tab shows 17 Zerglings out in the field, only 29 drones.
It might be a little bit too aggressive. He's not going to be able to get much damage done at the front of Sage's base unless Sage makes another mistake. Maybe he's doing this because Sage messed up with his Sentry in the previous game, and if Sage does that again, it could be costly.
We'll see.
If Sage doesn't mess up, I think he can defend this easily.
Photon Overcharge has been initiated. This gateway is just about half health, but look, it's all been shields. That's going to be regenerated very fast here. Losing a lot of Zerglings. Let's look at the count. He lost 6 Zerglings in that last engagement for nothing. Just basically energy from the Mothership Core. Maybe it helps, but still, I mean, a lot of timings come a lot later. Mothership Core should be able to get another recall around 8:30.
Yeah, this is just kind of a gamble by Hyun. I think he noticed that last game Sage messed up against that kind of attack, so he thought maybe if he messes up again I can get a lot done with these Zerglings. Yeah. He didn't, but the Zerglings will still be kind of useful. It'll deny pylons. If Sage wants to move out, he'll have to move out with a pretty good force to get by that many Zerglings.
Maybe we'll see a round 2 even. Void Ray is going to be started up here, so it's very, very possible that we see some sort of Void Ray all-in follow-up directly on this. But no, look at this, canceled. I like this. Zerglings being so incredibly active. Mothership Core are going to try to scoot these Zerglings out to make sure they're not blocking that expansion, but that's going to be pretty consistent. Hyun doing a great job. Now this Void Ray, what can it really do? You don't have any pylons around here. Yes, you have the Phoenix support. You can kill only one queen, though. And of course, Zergs normally have a lot more queens than one.
Yeah, Hyun's even making extra queens to help deal with that. He has 4 in the field now with the 5th in production. That'll give him several extra queens to just kind of keep all the Void Rays and Phoenixes from doing much damage.
Okay, well, doing a good job of it so far. Killing that one Zergling on the top here. He has 2 Void Rays out, 1 Phoenix, 2 Sentries, a Mothership Core, and pumping out another Void Ray. I really don't know what he's going to be able to kill. This is so incredibly hard for Sage to be able to do damage. Now supply capped 60 out of 60. I don't think he was really expecting this to happen based on how fast he wanted his third base to come out. I've seen builds like this happen. You will have expansions out anywhere from like 7 minutes to 8 minutes, or at least them starting. The fact that he's starting at 9 minutes means he's not going to be able to materialize out his third a lot slower. That means he can't get an army that fast. I'm
not sure what kind of tech he's going to go behind the Void Rays. Maybe for a charge lot composition. I don't think he'll be going for Colossi because he would have started the Robo Bay by now.
Even if he goes for charge lots, I mean, the Hydra count is going to be alarmingly big.
Yeah.
75 Harvesters to 44. That's an incredible advantage that you're going to have. Normally, this Harvester count should be at least in the mid-50s.
And this is considering that Hyun also made about 16, 17, 20 lings and didn't do any damage with them, and his Harvester count's still this high.
Yeah. So you can definitely see, I think this is a point in time where Sage wanted to get that third base out so much faster than what actually happened, and because of that, it just puts his whole build behind because he accrued all of those minerals just to not have it go up at the time that he needed to. Then it throws off everything because now he doesn't have the gateways, but he doesn't want to make the gateways because he still wants to get that Nexus out there, and he realizes he needs more Void Rays in order to get the position, everything. It's a trickling effect. And not looking good. Hyun pushing out here with a lot of Hydras, it looks like.
Yeah, I think Sage still has a chance this game, though. I think this attack, Sage should be able to hold off with no problem. The Nexus is up, so he can use Flood and Overcharge to help defend. And this Hydra push doesn't work too well against Void Rays, actually. You'd think it would, because Hydras counter Void Rays, but at this time of the game, you don't have too many Hydras yet. And the Protoss with Overcharge, with his Sentries, with his Void Rays, he can usually defend this, no problem. It gets difficult when Hyun gets to about 160 supply and up.
Gotcha. We'll definitely see. Do you know if Contaminate actually stops the Photon Overcharge?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
Nope.
Okay. That would have been cool.
Yeah, it would be. I've tried it on Nexuses, and it still just keeps shooting at me, so.
Nope, doesn't work. All right, well, we'll take a look at how this battle shapes up. Yes, I think the Photon Overcharge can be initiated, but it's really important that Sage actually sees this coming, as he should get a couple of implications, but now the army's moving into such a great position. This is going to be a little bit difficult.
The Nexus if he just targets it with Hydras.
Yeah.
He's going to lose these Hydralisks if he doesn't leave now, and even if he does, he might lose some.
Well, it's getting a little dicey as Zealots are going to get a good surround, but Zergling's going to go up and tank this damage. +1 is finished. The Void Rays are getting in here doing a lot of good damage.
Not the best force fields, though. Most of the force fields going behind the Hydralisks, so a lot of them can get in range of the Void Rays.
Yeah, but still the Void Rays are staying alive pretty nicely here.
Well, they were.
They were,
now
yeah.
He's losing
now he's
all
losing
of them.
An alarming rate. And Void Rays are just like roaches. They have to snowball. You have to keep that composition, keep the count of those Void Rays for them to be just so powerful into the mid-game. But as it stands, it's not looking that way. Charge is almost finished. So this was the perfect timing for Hyun to hit over here.
And now Sage is going to have such a hard time going for his Psystorm because his army is much smaller than it's going to need to be to deal with this army. So all he can do is invest into more Void Rays, more units, and that's not going to exactly set him up for the best mid to late game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's going to take so long before he actually gets the right composition to deal with all this.
I mean, he has the Templar Archives, but he needs to make Archons now to defend against this. Because Hyun, he's not going to let up on the pressure.
Yeah.
He's killed so many units, he knows he can keep pressuring, and it's going to work out well no matter what happens.
And what's so scary is the fact that he's just defending against this composition, and he has to realize that there's so many different tech switches that Hyun can go into that's going to counter this style, right? Like, you can go into like Roach, Hydra, Viper at this point and just shut this down completely. That's something you have to think about. So yes, you do need a high Templar count, but what if he goes into Mutas Like, that's a great composition to go into as well while, you know, you're so low in economy. You're just establishing the right composition, and then a new composition comes into play that completely catches you off guard.
Sage is doing a pretty good job, though. What I like that he's doing is he has... Okay, now he turned those Templar into Archons. I was going to say he was saving some Templar, and then he'd only make them into Archons if he saw an attack coming. But I think he might have seen this attack coming, so he needs to make them.
Zealot's going to be running into the mid left-hand position, but taking out promptly after they just run into a lot of Hydras.
And Hyun's moving into a perfect position here. No matter how Sage engages this, his force is just so small, and like we already see Sage has to pull all the probes. I think he can't save this Nexus either. And I don't think he has enough units to even kill this.
Well, look at this. Zergling's getting the perfect position, tanking a little bit of damage here so that it just allows the Hydras to do maximum damage. Now the Hydra's getting and killing the Archons very, very fast.
There's not that many Voiders either. Only 4, and 1 just died. So.
Yep. And things are looking good. Hyun changing it up and just making waves with it, as he will clean up the last
flying
Void
into
Ray.
his main base at the same time.
That's right. And this is the perfect tech switch. This is going to make it almost impossible. Sage has to GG out of there.
Wow, and Sage just took a 4-0 in this group. I don't think anyone expected that.